I think that we spent too much time on focusing on delivery. We didn't focus enough time on funding. Who pays is the missing question in skills, right? Because everybody's trying to topi pen out the other person, right? Employers are not willing to pay for training or candidates, but they're willing to pay a premium for trained candidates. Candidates are not willing to pay for training, they're willing to pay for a job. Banks or microfinance aren't willing to lend to a candidate unless a job is guaranteed, and training companies are unable to fill up their classroom. So the innovation has to happen at the intersection of education, employment, and employability. So you have to break down the barriers between education and employability. I think, employed learners will cross full-time learners in the next 5 years. And that means degree-linked apprenticeships may be the future of education. So I think a little more focus on who's going to pay and how to create that perpetual motion machine, which physics never found in skill development, where you get 300 million people skilling and you find how to finance it, and then you get them jobs which give them the wage premium by which they can sort of pay back some of the cost of skilling. So I think there's a lot of innovation going on, and NEP breaks down the barriers between the social signaling value of degrees and the sort of wage premium of skill development. The labor laws sort of break down the barriers to formal employment. So I actually think you need to look at NEP and labor law reform together, because that the one of the at the exit gate of the education system is the employment system. And if the employment system is largely farm or self-employment or informal employment, you can't finance skill development. So I think actually, if you look at all the reforms that are going on, they come together in a nice way. And so obviously human capital is the only capital that matters in the 21st century, and capitalism without capital is now almost a given, because, manufacturing is less capital.
Labor, I often say labor is capital now.
Yes, exactly. And unfortunately, the dead German philosopher doesn't agree with you. But, the dead German philosopher's book coincides with the rise of human flourishing. And I think this recent book, Capital by Piketty, it's probably the most unread bestseller in the world. But it is a bestseller, but it's probably the most unread bestseller in the world, is actually wrong, because interest rates, 25% of the world's bonds are now trading at zero or negative interest rates. His thesis was that capital would always outstrip it. So in a world where fixed income has become no income, actually growth will be overvalued, which means India will be overvalued. And India can't predict the future, but we have to make ourselves worthy of the future.